Two drawn games here at Anfield in the last week are all that it's taken for Roy Evans to make significant changes to the Liverpool lineup. Patrick Berger has spent most of the last month on the substitutes bench, but that is the haunt tonight of Stan Collymore, Jamie Redknapp and Dominic Matteo, all dropped. The return of Steve McManaman, who scored twice against Arsenal here in the opening week of the season, is the real bonus for Liverpool. Berger and McManaman will support Robbie Fowler. Phil Babb takes over from Matteo at the back. John Hartson's in the Arsenal starting lineup. Dennis Bergkamp, whose talent and technique eventually swung the North London derby on Sunday, has failed the fitness test. It's an otherwise unchanged Arsenal team, one that many expected Arsene Wenger to quickly set about breaking up. Instead, he's handing out improved pay deals and contract extensions to many of his senior players, and there are plenty of them. 8 of that lineup are 30-somethings. In charge tonight, Alan Wilkie. It's a billing fit for a final. 2 of the top 3 teams in the country at present in the first big cup collision of the season. Hartson, who is a very late selection for Arsenal tonight, unable to link up with Merson. McAteer slipping. Since Arsenal's defeat here in the opening week of the season, they've been beaten just once in domestic football. It's very nearly a year since Liverpool were beaten at Anfield, when Newcastle put them out of this competition in this round last season. Adams to Platt. Adams already striding forward, but being caught in possession by Burnley. McManaman to Barnes, all gloved up on a cold, clear night. And all shaken up is Robbie Fowler, and there's an early yellow card on the way here for Steve Bold. Less than a minute played. A long night ahead of the Arsenal number 5. And they can't afford to misbehave again. He caught Fowler from behind. Fowler, who scored hat-tricks against Arsenal on this ground in each of the last 2 seasons. It's Ruddock's strike. That wasn't a million miles away. It was very nearly a million miles an hour. Lukic seemed a little unsighted and was almost caught a little unprepared. It's a blinding strike from Neil Ruddock. 1 defeat in 8 games is Arsene Wenger's record. As Arsenal manager, he's brought a new stability after a rather tormented 2-month period in which Bruce Rioch and Stuart Hewson and Pat Rice all had charge of the team. Ruddock under pressure from Hartson, and he's lost the ball to the young Welsh forward, and he goes down on a James' challenge, and that's a penalty. The foul by David James, the crucial mistake by Neil Ruddock. Referee has got his notebook out. A yellow card for James, a rather red face for Ruddock. Just lost the ball under his feet. Hartson was gone. Well, there was certainly contact. But Hartson rather ran against James. 12 minutes played. Ian Wright, who scored a penalty at the Kop end last season, has scored another. Arsenal lead. Ian Wright's tally for the season is 17. And a terrific early tonic for the visitors. James sent the wrong way. McAteer. Bold, the defender. Losing his feet, but not before the ball across the dead ball line for a Liverpool corner. Right, and Neil Ruddock forward from the back. Short for Berger. Well driven, hit the post and came out. Well, he curses his luck. John Lukic will probably feel that he was owed that, because against Tottenham at the weekend, Andy Sinton's shot hit the post, hit the back of Lukic and went in. That time, he hit the post and came out just. Burnley. Fowler. Well gathered, came off Bold. Lukic under pressure from McAteer, holds on. Did really well to claim the cross, giving away a few pounds in weight to Steve Bowl, but the big centre-half blocked out the light. Platt. Oh, Ruddock didn't clear it. This is Ian Wright. Straight at James. Ruddock almost had another heavy price to pay for a slip. Miscued his volleyed clearance from Platt's. His headed clearance, I should say, from Platt's volleyed cross. The Wright's volley was directly at the man in green. Barnes under pressure from Platt. Somehow Ruddock and Barnes managed to sort it out. Barnes. Keown ahead of Berger. One back well by Fowler. Berger poked into the path of Björneby. McManaman is there, and McManaman has equalised. A headed goal from Steve McManaman squares it up. From an excellent cross from Stig Björneby. There have been so many of those this season. What there haven't been in the history of Liverpool Football Club are too many Steve McManaman headed goals. He'll have enjoyed that. It was well executed. Left Lukic stranded. And an arrowed cross from Björneby. Well directed. Just inside the post. The Arsenal lead lasted 13 minutes. Barnes just picking his way through the minefield. Fowler to Thomas. Now Björneby. Delightful Liverpool build-up so far. Fowler, no flag. Oh! Well, there was no response from the referee's assistant on the near side when the ball was swung in. I can't believe they were onside. It doesn't matter anyway. McManaman tossed in towards Fowler. Lukic committed. Down goes Fowler. Nothing doing. Corner kick. Every member of the Liverpool coaching staff on their feet. Wondering why we haven't got the game's second penalty. Now there's a shout against Dixon, and that will be a penalty. Handball against Dixon, and it was the man with the flag on the near side who signalled to Alan Wilkie that he thought Dixon had handled it. Mike Stoddart, the referee's assistant, to give him his official title, was certainly the jury, if not the judge in that instance. Well, how much real intent was there on Lee Dixon's part? Fowler gives Liverpool the lead. Lukic goes the wrong way. Liverpool go in front. Rolled in by the scourge of Arsenal, Robbie Fowler. "97 career goals now, Robbie Fowler. Caught in possession there, angry he didn't get a free kick. McManaman. Well, sometimes these heavyweight contests can be all muscle and no memorable moments, but Ian Wright scored early enough to open the game up, really. Nobody has won the League Cup competition more times than Liverpool. 4 in a row during the early 80s, then a 5th success against Bolton Wanderers last year. Arsenal have won it twice, the first against Liverpool in 1987, that marked the start of the George Graham Trophy collection. The second in 93, and since then, in the 3 seasons since then, Arsenal have gone out to the eventual winners each year, so there's a moment. They're not out by a long chalk as yet. Full bout for Liverpool. Here's Patrick Berger. Played by Martin Keown. John Barnes. Berger. Thomas, who was a part of that 1987 success for Arsenal. Roy Evans won this trophy in his first full season in charge. Not even Bob Paisley won a trophy for Liverpool in his first full season, but nothing last season. Arsenal just unable to really make their presence felt in the key areas of the field at present. Players like Merson and Vieira have been on the fringe of things so far. He has an excuse in so much that he is suffering with a stomach bug. Run off the ball that time by Berger. McAteer. McManaman. McAteer. Fowler has to be. Lovely Liverpool goal. They have some clear breathing space. Made by Jason McAteer and scored gleefully by Robbie Fowler. He's on a hat-trick again against Arsenal. Liverpool's passing has been excellent for the majority of the night. Fowler just sneaked beyond the last defender. Arsenal had their arms raised. Well, we've seen that before, and we've seen Robbie Fowler score over and over again. Mark Wright on Ian Wright. Yellow card has been given to Steve Bold here, and he's off. It's his second of the night. I suspect for dissent. Alan Wilkie has dismissed the Arsenal number 5, who was booked inside the first minute of the game. And now, with well over half an hour of the game still remaining, is dismissed. The first Arsenal player to be red-carded for nearly a year. Steve McManaman was fouled in the build-up to the last Liverpool attack by Steve Bold. And that certainly looks like a yellow card offence. The referee played an advantage then, but it was an awful long time after that before Bold was red-carded. I think he probably said something. McManaman. McAteer. Platt was the man in the way. Arsenal defence rather besieged. Berger came off Lukic. It's Fowler. Offside. Offside when Berger hit the shot, that is, because it came back off Lukic to Fowler. Not by much. It's Keown who just stepped up and caught him. Merson. Now, was Mark Wright climbing on John Hartson? Yes, he was. The referee has given the penalty. And an invitation to Arsenal to get back into this game. It was straightforward, 1 against 1. Mark Wright against John Hartson. Wright got off the ground first, but his arms were all over Hartson's shoulders. Still a quarter of this match remaining. The two central figures discuss the decision. The spotlight turns on Ian Wright again, and he scored again. It's 3-2. Once again, David James was sent the wrong way. In right now, goal a game in League Cup competition for Arsenal. 28 goals in 28 ties. Closing in on the Arsenal record of Cliff Bastin and closing in on Liverpool. 3-2. Vieira. Now McAteer to McManaman. It was a loose one from Vieira. Berger. Oh yes! Pick that out. Patrick Berger makes it 4-2 to Liverpool. And has probably ended the Arsenal revival. It flew in. Well, he's had a month of frustration, Patrick Berger, and he got a lot of it out of his system with that one. Recalled from the substitutes bench after a 25-minute run out against Wimbledon on Saturday, and justifying his recall completely there. Paul Merson and Nigel Winterburn are being replaced by Steve Morrow and Ray Parlour.
Number 15 is Ray Parlour, number 18 is Steve Morrow.
Thomas under pressure from Vieira has given it away. Ruddock came across, and then there were some afters between Monsieur Vieira and Mr. Ruddock. Foul to McManaman. McAteer. 4 up in support. Liverpool still chasing goals. Nobody more ravenously than Fowler, but the ball would just beat him out of play. He actually scored a hat-trick here against Arsenal a couple of seasons back in under 5 minutes. He didn't get a hat-trick of hat-tricks tonight, but he's contributed to a good Liverpool win. They had to come from behind. They had to survive a brief Arsenal comeback in the second half. They had the benefit of a very harsh penalty decision given against Lee Dixon at a crucial time. But nobody could doubt that Liverpool were the better team, that they were better than they'd been of late, and that they remain one of the most dangerous forces in the quarter-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup.